Yay, we made it to day 20. So I'm gonna address the absolute failure that I've did on day 19th about the fundamental knowledge and concepts that I think that everyone needs to understand about their body to have a better and healthier life. So our body is our main way to interact with our environment. There are two main concepts. We take matter from the outside environments, like it's from digestions, and we put it outside. So we gain some kind of energy to move around or think or do lots of activities. So basically, our energy intake is from our food, from our drinks. We put it in our mouth, and all the process slow down. Our head is the main control center. Think it's simply that way. It's like the control center. If we don't have our head, we're nothing. Okay. The nerves, which are like the cable of the machines, come down to the spinal cords, and the head and the spinal cords are arguably one of the most important body parts that we human can ever have. Okay, any damage on the spinal cords, like any damage, any hole or any severe hole, like if there's a hole in your spinal cords, you're gonna be absolutely disabled. Won't be able to move your legs or perhaps even leg arms at all. That's why you see lots of people who have neck injuries. They can't even move any of their body parts. Um, they just lay down there and can't do anything. It's just like Stephen Hawking. Another concept. I'm gonna talk about the energy part later because it's quite complicated. But another important part is that our blood, our blood system is the main way. The blood is the main way to transport nutrients and energy to our cells, to our muscles. I mean, without blood we can't move. Okay, I mean, without blood we can't take any kind of action because we won't have the energy or won't have the energy to do so. Even if our nerves send signals to tell our muscles to contract, without blood, we can't really do any of that for a long time. Basically, all the nutrients to repair our muscle, to move, all the oxygens from the lungs for the cells in our body to generate energy. It's all from our blood. So the blood is kind of like the energy, the highway that transports matters and transports materials to each of the cells. And most of the blood from our body are generates from bones. Yeah, maybe the femur bones and the legs, or maybe also I think yeah, any kind of bones that generates blood. So let's move on to the important concept. Oh yeah, I didn't really mention the most important concept. Okay, whatever. So you must understand that our body are made primarily from cells. It's really small. It's like cells are like cell size are around 1 millionth. How does it? 1 divided by 10 millionth of a meter. Is that a meter? No, cells size are around 1 divided by 1 millionth of a meter. So they are incredibly small, and their their diameter is around 1 millionth of a meter. So yeah, you this wouldn't be that kind of accurate. Like my hand gotta be looks like 30 touching to yeah, my accuracy can't replicate that. It's so incredibly small. So our body is just consists of billion trillion of cells. Without cells, we are nothing. If our cells in the body died, we die too. So the important thing to be able to live healthily is to keep our body healthy, our cells healthy, and live and get rid of the unhealthy cells, which are basically disease and cancer. So the blood's function is okay. Another important things that I should have mentioned. Okay, I'm gonna talk over this over in the next day. Okay. Another thing that I should have mentioned before is that our energy intake, right? Our main thing to intake energy and basically do an action based on expense energies to do actions. So um, we eat and we drink is mostly to digest nutrients, and those nutrients that are in our intestines, they will travel. The nutrients like calcium, carbs, protein, lipid. Probably you've heard of them. You have heard of them before. Maybe even sugar. They will get absorbed in the intestine through the blood, and those blood will travel around our body to deliver these nutrients to our cells. You look at this. You, if your conceptions, if you think that these kind of veins, the visible veins in all limbs are the only veins in veins. I don't know how to pronounce it. Probably gonna learn later. Our our visible veins in our hands and limbs are the only veins that we have. That's really bad misconceptions. Our bodies are full of veins and microveins that are basically in every part of our body. That's why every time you have a cut, there's blood flow now because there's small veins between that supply nutrients to our cells. Probably too detailed. And the cells in our body have gaps in them to be able to take nutrients from the blood and also to put out waste to put it back put out waste into the blood. The cells have micro gaps between them, so none of the cells in our body are touching each other. They all have distance to be able to they all have some kind of gap to be able to take nutrients in and put the gaps waste away. So our poop, so the waste travel through our blood circulation, blood system, go get filtered through the kidney, and through the liver. Kidney, all the waste from the kidney went to our pee, and all the waste from our liver. Part of it is stored in the liver, and part of it is, I think, part of it go down to the poop, to our poop, along with the food that we can't really digest. So that's how we take energy in. Take energy in, got digested, put nutrients in through our highway, and put away the unnecessary one. Put and pee away. So we are like a kind of like the city of living matter. Like imagine a city of houses, and our blood are like the highway. How different citizens travel around. Imagine the car and the highways as nutrients, and the house as living being that need to get nutrients in and put nutrients out. Yeah, that does seem kind of solid. I think I've covered most. Pretty much went into too much detail on the cells. Shouldn't have mentioned that. There are a lot small thing. Oh, I should mention the big things, but I didn't mention the heart. The heart is basically pumping the blood around our torso. Pumping basically without heart, we don't have any kind of. The heart is the main way to maintain the speed of the highway. So every time our heart beats, it pumped pressure into the blood so that they could just flow around our body. Our blood's flow in circulation. Yay! And should I talk about ventilation? That's really not too specific. The lung is to intake oxygen and then put out carbohydrates. No, it's put on CO2. Yeah, put in oxygen and put out CO2. I forgot the name of that. Oxygen is oxygen is Mandatory. I'm gonna learn how to talk to pronounce that. It's mandatory for our cells to process the nutrients and generate energy. And the waste that our cells put out are CO2. So we breathe in oxygen and we put out CO2. These oxygen and CO2 are obviously transported through our bloods. So we have covered pretty much all of our how do we say? I forgot all of the matter inside our body. Oh, it's horrible. Okay, so how do we move? We move by muscle. We have more than 200 group of muscles in our body. Specific group of muscle like the biceps here, biceps right here. We move by shorten it, so the muscle contracts, and when the muscle disengage and is lengthened, yeah, there's a way we move, and we like the muscle on the biceps contracts for us to move like this, and the muscle in the back of the arms lengthen, and the muscle back of the arm shortens, and the biceps relax to be able to move our muscles. It's basically the same with all the motions of our arms and other kind of stuff. The bones, the exoskeletons are to support our system. The ligaments to keep the muscle in place. The ligaments are actually connected to the bones. Yeah, of course, these are kept alive using from the veins in our body. There are also fascia to related to our flexibility, the lymph nodes. There are all kind of neurons spreading out from our brains to our spinal cord and spreading out to every kind of muscles in our body. Without neurons, we can't control our muscle. What do we got? Oh, we forgot. We take energy and we put energy out, but we also need to take input information or data from the outside environment. So obviously, gotta take sensory, like we try to take picture, video, sensory inputs from our eyes. We breathing aroma through our nose, nose cable. We tasting through our tongue, and we eat from our mouth. We gotta hear things from our what is it called? Our ears, and we feel things by touching through our skin. Yeah, the skin also counts as uh uh a body part. No, it's I forgot. Okay, I forgot. I I remember the Vietnamese name, but I forgot the English. Okay, whatever. There are a lot of small things, to be honest. So, in summary, um we input data from the outside environment, and we have thoughts. We have the control system right here to think what we should do, so that we can take actions. And taking these kind of actions or thinking, or maybe just being alive or being a normal machines require energy. So we need outside energy. We eat those kind of energy, drink those kinds of energy, input that in our body to keep us alive, to not losing that much energy. Yeah, so we spend energy and we gotta take energy again to remain at the same energy level. There's more into it, but I think that's enough. It's this video is already long, and I have I have truly recognized my inability to talk in a concise way, uh, my inability to sum up lots of information into short video, even though I haven't prepped for this yet. Okay, that's it for the 2020, and I think I'm gonna talk about this topic again in day 21 because it's a fascinating topic and I've done a pretty bad job in this roles. I think that focus on improving my concepts, the way that I represent a concept about the big concepts about a topic really helped me my ability to try to concise lots of data into a short summary, a short talk, a short talk session, and also kind of not really deepen, but it's also helped me convert all of that from my native language to English, and also to it's not deepen, but it's also to conceptual, not really conceptual. I make my memories or make my masteries over this kind of knowledge firmer. Maybe building the foundation. I'm not really sure. So I kind of speak pretty kind of recall the video early on the day when I'm not exhausted by study or playing yet. So my mind is still pretty active. So maybe that's why I kind of talk in a more fluid manner, more fluently. I also am more emotional and less tired. So that's a good thing. See ya, day 21.